Terminate was filed, defendant previously waived probable cause, and we're scheduled for a final hearing at this time. Mr. Watson, in regards to this final hearing, what is the defendant's intention?
Thank you, Your Honor. May it please the court, in talking with my client, she is prepared to waive her final hearing and enter a plea of guilty to the violation, Your Honor.
Ms. Kovat, you have been charged in case 23 CR 1368 with violating the conditions of your community control sanctions. Specifically, there are two alleged violations. The first is a Rule 1 violation, which requires you to obey all local, state, and federal laws. And it is alleged that you were arrested and charged with domestic violence on October 17th of 2024, and you actually pled guilty to that charge in this court. So that's a violation, alleged violation of Rule 1. It's also alleged you violated Rule 11, which requires you to comply with all special conditions set forth by this court on October 17th when you were, in the date of that original arrest and the new charge. You were with Michael Agapi, and you were specifically told by this court that you were not to have any contact with him. So you violated that condition as well. Now, you have the right to have a final hearing on this allegation, which is a hearing where the state would be required to present some evidence to suggest you probably committed these violations. You could have this hearing, but you can also waive the hearing and plead guilty to the violations, I should say. And your attorney has indicated he believes that's what you want to do. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Well, before I can go forward on that waiver and your plea, I need to make sure you understand the potential penalties you face if you're found to have violated your community control sanctions. If in fact that did occur, the court could extend your probation up to 5 years. I could impose more restrictive sanctions against you, or I could terminate or end your probation and send you to prison. If I did that, it could be anywhere between 6 to 18 months, and I could order that that be served consecutive to whatever sentence I impose on the new case. Do you understand the potential penalties you face if you are found to have violated your community control sanctions?
Yes, sir.
Well, having been so advised, what do you want to do at this time? Do you want to have the final hearing, or do you want to waive that hearing and plead guilty to the violations?
Waive and plead guilty.
Waive and plead guilty, sir.
Very well. As to the allegation that you violated Rule 1 by having been arrested and ultimately convicted of a new felony while you were on probation, what is your plea to that?
Guilty.
Guilty.
As to the allegation you violated Condition 11 by having contact with Michael Agapi when you were specifically told by this court not to, what is your plea to that?
Guilty.
The court will accept your pleas of guilty, find that you did violate your community control sanctions. Mr. Watson, in regards to this case as well as the new case, 24 CR 1277, any reason not to proceed to sentencing on both of these cases at this time?
No, Your Honor.
Anything you want to say on behalf of your client?
Thank you, Your Honor. May it please the court. I'll be brief because I know we were technically just here 6+ months ago with regards to the 23 case. And essentially, this new case is basically the same. It's got the same victim. My client was given clear instructions the last time that she was to have no contact with them, and yet this past October she was with them. These two butted heads like they normally do. They're oil and water together. The police were called. In this case, both parties were charged. However, my client has taken responsibility for her actions. She's not only pled just now to the violation, but she also pled guilty to the new case. Your Honor, my client has some mental problems. I mean, she's a good woman that has a lot of issues, and I'm not here. I'm here hat in hand, Your Honor. I'm not here to make excuses for why she was with the victim in this case. But Your Honor, she previously had severe problems with alcohol. She's been sober off of alcohol for several years now. She's been a regular at AA meetings, even with the old case, and I believe off the record in chambers, even probation admitted she was going to AA meetings. She's been dealing with that. At the change of plea for this new case, Your Honor, she indicated to the court that she's on several medications, several of which were for her mental health problems. I mean, she is medicated, but that clearly shows that she does have a lot of issues, Your Honor. I know this court has a lot of discretion this morning as to how it can proceed with sentencing, and I know under most circumstances, most defendants should not even deserve the opportunity to be considered for community control for a matter like this. But I'm asking the court to please consider continuing her on community control on the original case and granting community control in this new case, and not just letting her go free, Your Honor. But, the Public Defender's Office has worked very hard. We have a bed available at the Everett House, and again, I know there were discussions in chambers about this. It's located in Mentor, Ohio. It's a place where my client can stay. They focused specifically with individuals with mental health problems. I think Ms. Kovach would be a perfect fit there, and they would work with her with housing opportunities, continuing that so she gets her medication, seeing psychiatrists, whatever she needs, and then hopefully weaning her off and getting her out on her own. Your Honor, again, I mentioned before, we're here hat in hand. I know in a lot of instances, most courts would not even consider what I'm asking, but I think this is somewhat of a unique situation due to Ms. Kovach's mental health situation. I'm not trying to take away from her culpability because she's pled guilty, but this is a two-way street, Your Honor, with the victim. And again, these two are oil and water, and they're both.
You're not supposed to be with him.
I agree. I agree with the court, Your Honor. I totally agree.
That's not the victim's fault.
And we've conceded that. But I'm asking the court to give Ms. Kovach one last opportunity with whatever strings the court wants to put on. And if she's not going to follow through with what the court provides, obviously, and she knows it, she's got a lot of time over her head. You're going to hear in just a moment from Ms. Kovach. She is extremely remorseful, extremely sorry. And I'm hoping the court will take these factors into consideration. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Well, Ms. Kovach, you have the right to address the court before you're sentenced. Is there anything you want to say at this time?
Yes, Your Honor. I'm sorry, and there's no excuse for my actions. I know I wasn't supposed to be with Mr. Gappy, and I made that decision on my own, and I lied to not only Jennifer, but to everyone and you, Your Honor. And now I've sat for these days thinking about what I've done and what I said and how I lied when I should have been truthful from the beginning when Jennifer asked me and I wasn't. I was truthful with Mike, whom I told Jennifer just last week.
You were what?
I was truthful with Mike and that
With Mike?
Mr. Gappy, I'm sorry, and that's how I was taught. And
What do you mean you were truthful with him?
Like oil and water, I was truthful with him. How I was taught to, I was used, and we used each other for whatever reason. And we're oil and water. That was written on. I read my discovery, and it's true. And I shouldn't have been with him. He's older. I don't, he used me for whatever reasons. I used him for whatever reasons. I can't justify that. And I lied to everybody. I lied to you, Jennifer. My support system, which is Signature Health, and I need this opportunity to better myself. When they came to see me from Everett, it's like a perfect opportunity. He says that he rescued me because I was in a bad relationship where I was abused, and then I became the abuser. But on two of these domestics, he was also arrested. I'm also a victim as well. And
How many domestic violence convictions do you have?
I believe 4 total. One was with Tony Kudjis that passed away. And I have quit drinking. It will be 4 years ago, July 1st.
Well,
I
that
haven't
apparently wasn't an issue because you have anger issues and you're still
And I completed
assaulting
anger
people.
management, and I got my domestic violence diploma over at the jail, and I've completed other programs, and they focus on all this at Everett from what I've heard there. They do IOP like 5 to 7 days a week. They do one-on-one. They do a bunch of different things, and I think I need that to help me. Sorry to say, in this aspect, I was belittled for so long. I think so little of myself. That's what I think. And that's a major problem with myself, being a grown woman, but I am mentally ill, and I feel like I was used to that. I was called a retard. And maybe I am. I don't know.
Well, you told me about your interview with Everett House. Why don't you tell me about your interview with NeoCap? How'd you treat those folks?
That's another thing I'd like to address that was brought to my attention was that to my acknowledgement, the lady was done and said she was done with her questions. I thought she was done with her questions. I answered them and spoke about my family and upbringing. I was crying, and I just kept saying.
How were you speaking with her?
I was like.
Same way you're talking to me?
No, I'm not trying to be loud. That's just the way I talk, Your Honor.
No, you were yelling at her.
No, I kept saying, why is it, why is this? But I did think about it all weekend, and I was like, well, if this is an option, I got to deal with it. It's life.
Same thing that you told when they recommended that you go to Everett House back when you first put in probation. You said, no, I don't need to do that.
No, that's not what I said. I told Jennifer that I thought between the rules of probation and the rules of Everett House that I was going to mess up and end up back here, but instead I caught a new case, and that's where I screwed up, and I'm admitting that. I need this chance.
I'm giving you chances. You can't even follow my simple conditions.
I
said no contact with Michael Agapi.
I know that, Your
And
Honor.
you, within, I don't know, let's see, you got out of jail when? You got out of jail September sometime? And in less than a month, you're with him.
Given this, I know.
You said, screw you, Judge, I don't care what
No,
you
I
say.
did not.
Well, then what'd you say? So why did you just
I
go ahead
lied
and...
to Jennifer. I lied to Jennifer, and I lied to you, and I lied to everybody. I should have been honest.
You doing what you want to do when you're told not to is saying, screw you, Judge, I don't care what you say.
I think given anything of probation and anything, a GPS monitor, not to go around him, if anything, I won't. But I told Everett, they said, well, what's going to stop you now? I said, well, first of all, being on camera, that's what stopped me, because I'll be in handcuffs, like quicker than I could think about it.
That was a risk last time. That was a risk in October.
I know.
And you did it. So that's not anything that's preventing you from doing it or deterring you from doing
Your Honor,
it.
I lied, and I should have been truthful with the people that care about me.
No,
most.
I don't care about the
thought it was
lying
him.
part. I care about you having contact with him. You
And
weren't
so do I.
supposed to.
I know.
And you did whatever you wanted to do, just like you did when you met with the NeoCap folks. You didn't want to go to NeoCap, and you had a temper tantrum.
No.
Yes.
Sorry.
You're lying to me now if you say
No,
no.
I'm not. I thought I answered all the questions.
You may have. You may have answered them, but you were yelling at him to the point where they rejected you. That they say we're not going to take her because of her attitude and how poorly she behaved.
I kept apologizing to
I don't care if you apologized. You were still behaving that way. You're here apologizing to me right
I
now.
don't mean to yell.
You're apologizing to me right now because you couldn't follow my rules and you want to do whatever Laura Kovacs wants to do.
No, I don't.
You did. You went and had contact with him. You didn't go to Everett House back in September when they were recommended to you. And now you want to. Because why? Why do you want to go to Everett House now? Because otherwise you're going to prison.
For me. I think it's a good place for me because I'm mentally ill.
Why wasn't
retarded.
Why wasn't it a good place for you when they told you should go to that a month ago?
I thought I was going to catch a new case and end up back in here, but instead I went with Michael. I wasn't with him at the time.
Why would you catch a new case if you went to Everett House?
Because I told Jennifer between the rules of the rules of probation, the rules at Everett House and all the groups, I thought it was too much for me to handle, and we agreed. Okay,
so why is it not too much now?
Because I need that in my life. I need too much. I need no time to think.
You needed that then, and it didn't matter.
It matters now.
It matters now because you have 4.5 years of prison.
No, I had a lot of thinking. I sat down and holding in jail for 6-7 weeks and without medication for most of it. And the bad has outweighed the good with this man. I've done it with alcohol and weed. As long as I know the stipulations I'm going to get in trouble, I think I can handle it.
You haven't. I don't know why you think you can. Because you continue getting domestic violence convictions. You have multiple domestic violence convictions. You continued having contact with him when you were told not to. And so that didn't stop you or deter you from doing that?
Your Honor, but if I could say something, 3 domestics with him, 2 of which he was arrested in as well. I
don't care.
I feel like the victim too. I admit my part very much so, but I feel like
you still committed the offenses.
I know. I admit that.
But
I
feel
like my
excuses.
sister's. I know. I'm not. I admit my part, but my sister is like, well, it is what it is, Laura. So we don't talk. She had me sitting in jail the last year for something I didn't even do. I can't even talk to make anybody happy. That's how low I feel. I'm sorry, Your Honor. That's all I could say over and over again. I know I lied to everybody, especially the most people in my support system that I have is not even friends or family. I don't have any of that. It's the people like at Signature.
I don't care that you lied to people. I care that you did the act to begin with.
I know.
So what I say doesn't matter. What I say is not going to deter you from not doing it because you're going to do what you want to do.
No, I don't.
That's what
I'm
you've done.
almost 47 years old.
Yeah, when you were almost 47 when I sentenced you last time. We're only here 6 months later.
I know.
So I don't get what's
And
different
I'm
now.
trying to
Why
do
is
better
everything going to be
myself.
so different now, miraculously different now than it was 6 months ago?
My thinking somewhat has changed, but with the help that I need like mentally, I think I could do it. I did it with the drugs and the alcohol. I think I could do it with a man. Hopefully.
You haven't shown that.
I know, because I was with Tony for almost 13 years. 12, 13 years, and that's when things were bad.
Okay, so you didn't show it with him. I don't even know what that's about, but obviously you're
That's when he
acknowledging
drank
that
really bad
with
and I
this
left
Tony
him.
guy,
Yeah.
you didn't make any changes. With
I left
Michael
him.
Agapi, you're not making any changes. You have
I don't
prison
need a
hanging
man.
over your head. You have prison hanging over your
I
head,
know.
and you went to go see him anyway. You said, I don't care, Judge. I'm going to do what I want to do. You're not going to tell me what to do.
I know. I'm sorry.
I don't care if you're sorry. You think saying sorry is just going to excuse
No,
and say,
it's
oh,
not.
she's sorry. It's
I
okay
can't
that
say-
she can
I
do
can't
whatever
say
she
more
wants to
than
do.
enough.
Sorry?
I can't say more than enough. I am seriously mentally ill. If I could be in Laurelwood or somewhere for the rest of my life, that's what basically I feel like Everett is at one point, and I need something like that. If I could stay there the rest of my life, I would. But it's not permanent, temporarily, and they helped me find my place. And my goal there was to help me to get a place with my emotional support dog that I have. She's a German Shepherd. I'm sorry, Your Honor. I really am.
I don't care if you're sorry.
Okay.
I get it. You've said it multiple times, thinking apologies are just going to excuse you doing whatever you want.
No.
Because that's what you've demonstrated throughout your history here with me. You're going to do whatever you want to do. And it doesn't matter what any person of authority has to say. Doesn't matter what I say. Doesn't matter what Jennifer says. It doesn't matter. And if someone's going to do something that you don't like, you're going to have a temper tantrum, yell. Anything else you want to say?
Nothing further from the defense, Your Honor.
Ms. Himmeline for the state?
Thank you, Your
Both
Honor.
cases, obviously.
Yes, thank you, Your Honor. As the court is aware, the defendant does have a lengthy criminal history with multiple probation violations, including the case that is before the court now. The defendant was given an opportunity in the 23 CR 1368 case to stay away from Michael Agapi, and she chose to violate the terms of community control that was provided to her in that case. She has had prior treatment efforts that were unsuccessful. Given that NeoCap is not an option due to the defendant's behavior, the state does recommend that the court impose a prison sentence in both cases. Thank you.
How much credit is there with both cases? I know it's 75 on the older case.
The new case is 116, Your Honor.
This court has reviewed the pre-sentence report investigations, drug and alcohol evaluations. I have considered the facts and circumstances of the offenses involved, the nature of the offenses. 23 CR 1368, I've considered the defendant's performance on probation, the nature of those violations. I've considered what's been said here today by Ms. Kovach herself, Mr. Watson, prosecutor, the recommendations from everyone. All of this is considered in light of the purposes and principles of felony sentencing set forth in 29-29-11. As for the factors in 29-29-12, in case 23 CR 1368, I'm going to incorporate all the findings I made at the sentencing hearing in July. With the additional finding today that the defendant has failed to comply with previously imposed sanctions ordered by this court, specifically committing a new offense, having contact with the victim. Those are factors indicating, the defendant failed to comply with the previously imposed sanctions from this court, which is factors indicating not only recidivism is more likely, but it actually happened. Case 24 CR 1277. Nothing factually about the case that stands out, indicating it's more or less serious. As for recidivism factors, the defendant was on probation to this court when she committed the offense. She has a history of criminal convictions. She has violated her probation and bond conditions, so she's failed to comply with previously imposed sanctions ordered by courts. She does not have genuine remorse in regards to the commission of the offense. She just blames the victim. No factors indicate recidivism is less likely. 24 CR 1277 is a felony of the third degree, so there's no presumptions one way or the other regarding probation or community control sanctions. In both cases, prison is certainly consistent with the purposes and principles of sentencing. The question is whether the defendant's amenable to any available community control sanctions, and I'm really having a hard time with that. Because to be amenable to community control sanctions means that you're willing and able to follow the rules, follow conditions that are imposed. And your conduct throughout both of these cases has demonstrated that you're not. You're not willing to follow rules, that you're going to do what you want to do. You know, Ms. Kovach, if I were to send you to prison today, it probably wouldn't be, even though I could send you to prison for 4.5 years, it wouldn't be near the maximum. It'd be on the lower end. If I give you this chance and you violate your probation, you're going to be getting near the maximum sentence. You want to take that risk?
What's going
You
on?
trust yourself?
If you get probation and you mess up, the judge is going to give you a lot of time.
Okay.
Well, then talk to the judge.
About-
What I'm saying is that if I were to just send you to prison today, even though I could give you 4.5 years in prison, I wouldn't be giving you 4.5 years in prison. I'd be giving you near the lower end.
Oh. So,
What I'm saying is that if I give you this chance that you're asking for and you screw it up again,
oh, no.
you're going to get
Oh,
you're going to get that maximum
Oh, yeah.
sentence.
okay.
So my question for you is, are you willing to bet on yourself? Are you willing to take that risk?
Yes. I think I could do it.
Huh?
I think I could handle the rules. That's scary. It's a long time.
Well, you're going to get one chance and one chance only, and we're not going to come back here with, if you violate, with there's some new other program or NeoCap. Now I want to do NeoCap. I've heard about NeoCap. I've had time to think about it because I've been sitting around. I think NeoCap is perfect. It's exactly what I need.
Yeah.
We're not going to do any of that.
Okay.
You can make whatever pitch you want, but I'm telling you that that's not going to happen.
Okay. I understand, Your Honor. I appreciate it greatly.
Well, in case 23 CR 1368, on both cases, if I find defendants amenable, I'm going to extend her community control sanctions by 6 months, so for a total of 2.5 years. In case 24 CR 1277, I'm going to put defendant on community control sanctions for a period of 2 years. In that case, 1277, I'm going to order the defendant to serve a total of 160 days in jail. She has credit for 116 she's already served. I am going to order that any time after she's served an additional 15 days, she could be released once a bed's available at the Everett House. She's going to serve 15 more days, and then if a bed's available on that day, she can be released on that day. If it's not available for a week later, whenever a bed's available after, what's today, the 10th? After February 25th or after, she can be released. That's just on that case, the 1277 case. Then in both cases, I'm going to order that the defendant enter, successfully complete the program at Everett House. Whatever that program involves and entails, you to follow all of their recommendations. If they recommend something and you say no because you don't like it, you're going to go to jail.
Okay. I understand.
You're not going to get your way because you don't want to do something that they tell you to do.
Sorry.
How long is this program, Mr. Watson?
Well, Your Honor, it's my understanding, it's not a definite time period. I think it's at least 30 days, but my understanding, it usually goes several months. They work, again, with the defendant. There's an IOP program. There's mental health assessments. They work on her with housing. So I don't think there's a definitive period. I think it's when they feel she's ready to move out and they have another place for her to go.
Well, I want her there for at least 60 days.
That's fine, Your Honor.
So 60 days in the minimum at Everett House. Further conditions, you're not to use any drugs or alcohol. Includes marijuana. I don't care if you have a marijuana card or not. No, none. You submit random urine screens. They have to be negative. 3 AA meetings a week with a sponsor. I want you to continue with psychiatric counseling as well as mental health services. Follow all recommendations from both the psychiatric counseling as well as the mental health services. Take all medications as prescribed. You're to have one doctor, one dentist, and one pharmacist. Sign releases so that probation can talk to those folks. pay your court costs and supervision fees. You'd have no contact with Michael Agapi.
Yes.
No contact.
Okay.
Text messaging, phone calls, emails, in person. Not to have someone else reach out to him and tell him something or pass a message along. If he has contact with you, you're violating it. So if he has contact with you, you need to hang up on him. If he comes and see you, you need to walk away. Ms. Knaus, anything else that you recommend? Ms. Kovach, you understand all the conditions of your
Yes.
community control sanctions?
Sorry. Yes, Your
Do you have
Honor.
any questions for me?
No.
Are you
I
sure?
appreciate- Yes, I appreciate everything.
No,
Thank
I
you.
don't care about that. I want to make sure you understand what you're
Yes.
supposed to do and what you're not supposed to do.
Yes, completely.
If you violate any of these conditions, any of the rules of probation, if you leave Ohio without permission from the court, or if you commit another offense, a motion to terminate your community control sanctions will be filed in both of these cases. And then if after a hearing it's found that you did violate, I could technically extend your probation in each case to a total of 5 years. I can impose more restrictive sanctions, including local jail time, or I can and I will terminate your probation in both cases and send you to prison.
Okay.
And in case 24 CR 1277, that will be 36 months in prison, 3
Okay.
years.
No.
And in case 23 CR 1368, it will be 18 months in prison. And the two cases will be ordered to be served consecutive to each other for 4.5 years, and they'll be consecutive to any other new charges that you may pick up or sentences that you're serving on anything else.
Okay.
You understand all that?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Himmeline, is there anything else for the record?
Just bond, Your Honor.
Well, bond's released, whatever bond there was never posted, but bond's released. Thank you. Mr. Watson, anything else?
Just that, Your Honor, should we inform the court when a bed is available, or just when a bed is available, the defendant to be released?
I don't know how that will work. I guess
Okay.
it's through Jennifer. You should let Jennifer know, and then she'll send a memo to the court. I typically just write approved on there, and then the jail accepts that. If you know beforehand, if you learn beforehand when a bed will be available on or after February 25th, you could send it whenever.
Certainly, Your Honor.
Okay.
And then just,
That'd be the easiest way, but
and just for the record, Your Honor, then Erin Mayer, Mayer, she's the social worker at the public.
how do you spell
defender's
Aaron? I don't know if I
office. Her first name is Erin.
I know, but how do you spell Aaron? E?
Yeah, E-R-R-I-N.
Oh, 2 R's, okay.
Correct, there's 2 R's, and then it's Mayer. She will be picking up the defendant whenever that bed is available from the county jail and driving her directly.
Well, let's put
to
that
her
in the
house.
entry, that she will be released once the bed's available to Erin Mayer, so then they know that already, we don't have to worry about that. And then I would if you get a date, let probation know, and I mean, if you know a date tomorrow, let the probation know, and they can send me a memo, and I could prove it then, or whenever you find that out.
Thank you, Your Honor.